We've got basketball action here in New Orleans, Louisiana, at the New Orleans Arena, across from the Superdome. Home of the Hornets, live on 2K Sports. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday night edition of the NBA and all its great action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Taking a look at Chicago. They've got to feel like, guys, they have an opportunity to rack up some wins over the next stretch of their schedule. You know, they'll be playing a lot of games in their own building.
Well, hold on a minute here, Kevin. You've been around this league a while now, and you know there are no gimmies in this league. Even though the schedule looks soft and it looks like they're winnable games, every team can take you out to lunch if you don't pay attention to detail.
Well, this is the NBA. I mean, every team's got talent, and if you don't take teams seriously, then you're in some trouble. So this is a stretch they have to take very seriously, and as long as they focus and play hard, I think they've got a chance to do well.
Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup presented by State Farm. Their front court, Lou Aldang, Carlos Boozer, and Joakim Noah in the middle. Michael Jordan is out there with Derrick Rose. And for New Orleans, Vasquez is in at the 1 with Gordon at the 2. Ryan Anderson out there with Robin Lopez. And it's Aminu in at the 3 spot.
Grievous Vasquez, the first Venezuelan player ever drafted into the NBA, late first-round pick out of the University of Maryland.
Here's Boozer from down in the low post. It goes. Boozer's got the scoreboard going with his first points of the night for the Bulls. Now go to Doris Burke, who spoke with Tom Thibodeau. Doris?
Well, guys, we spoke of just how good he thinks this team can be as a defensive unit. He said that's one thing he's proud of his guys for is how they rarely get caught out of position on an assignment, saying, if you play against us, you will earn every point.
Great, Doris. Thank you. It's not too uncommon to have that defensive focus being foremost in the game plan, is it?
Well, that's who they are, Kevin. That's their identity as a ball club. And so every game they start out thinking, let's shut the opponent down.
And not with just any kind of defense, guys. I mean, they want to get up into you, nose-to-nose, aggressive, in-your-face defense.
Here's Aminu, following the score by Derrick Rose. He feeds it to Aminu. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And Vasquez, a feisty combo guard. And Steve, we saw it in college. Great passion for the game.
Yeah, he loves to play, Kevin. He comes out with a ton of energy. And what I like about him is he's got great size for a point guard, almost 6'6", and a real playmaker, a guy who thinks pass before shot.
2 free throws for Aminu.
You know, the question the last few years in New Orleans is, you know, would the Hornets be able to stay just from a financial standpoint, or would they leave and move to a new city? But that question was answered last year when they signed a new lease, the Hornets did, with the city of New Orleans to stay through the year 2024.
Here's Gordon, following the basket by Michael Jordan. Gordon kicks to Vasquez. Over Rose. Rebound by the Bulls. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
And, Kevin, looking at their performance offensively in that game, it's hard to find even one area in which they weren't poor.
Yeah, you're right, Steve. They look completely lost at that end of the floor.
And just signing that lease, Steve, as you mentioned, really a big commitment to the city. What, 2024? That's amazing. And Clark, it really helps reaffirm the bond between the team and certainly the city.
Exactly. It can be hard to grow attached to a team. You know, so much of a fan's attachment is emotional, but you need to know how long they're going to be around. And that was really good news for Hornets fans when they signed that lease.
I like that foul. You don't want to give up an easy 2 in transition.
No, you don't want to give up a layup. Make him earn them from the stripe, and maybe you get a break and he makes only one of the free throws and misses them both.
That's good from Dang.
Yeah, Dang is so dependable at both ends of the floor, Kevin. He's about 6'9", long arms, good athleticism, and he just stays after you. He can really guard because he anticipates well and he understands what the offensive player is trying to do.
That's exactly right, Steve. He's an excellent defender. Nothing flashy. Offensively, he's solid as well. A good jump shooter who can catch and shoot or even dribble into the smooth pull-up.
Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Rose dishes to Jordan.
Oh, look out!
Rock that rim. Gotta love that enthusiasm, folks.
Not only, Clark, did he rock the rim, he decided to hang around a bit for that one, too. I love it.
What a finish. That was just gorgeous.
That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Sprite. The Hornets trail by 10.
Well, you look at Hornets coach Monty Williams, the youngest head coach in the NBA. He was an assistant with the Blazers for 5 seasons and was a favorite with a lot of the players there. Quickly rose up the list as a candidate for a head coaching position before being hired in New Orleans back in 2010.
And the Hornets making a change here. Henry's checked in. And Aminu kicks to Gordon. And they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
1:56 left to play in the first quarter. Jordan kicks to Dang. Left side Boozer. Bulls moving the ball around. Here's Rose. Dunks it down.
They're getting whatever they want in the paint early on.
Well, doing work inside, that's why they've been able to build the lead. They've been playing smash-mouth basketball.
And Coach Williams, a defensive-minded guy, really gets his team, Steve, to buy in at that end of the floor.
Well, when you coach under Nate McMillan, which he did, Monty Williams did in Portland, you know you're going to get a tutorial about defense and effort. And that's the way Williams really wants to be known as a coach. Tough, defensive-minded, and a guy who's going to work his tail off.
And here are the Hornets now, following the miss by Michael Jordan. 58 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Smith. The shot's good. Vasquez making the play. Smith's got his first 2 points of the night. Gordon against Jordan. Here's Noah. There's the killer two-handed slam.
Simply said, a tremendous rebound and a tremendous dunk.
He was a man possessed right there, Clark.
Yep. That's the kind of energy that you always get from him night after night.
And so here's New Orleans after the Bulls pick up 2. Vasquez passes to Smith. The pass to Vasquez. There's the feed to Henry. 5 to shoot. Now the dish to Vasquez. Launches it. He dishes it to Henry. Over Dang. And it's blocked by Dang. From midcourt. Cannot hit. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Bulls out front. Up by 8. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return.
Coming up this Thursday night, LeBron James and the Miami Heat go on the road to battle the Chicago Bulls. It's an Eastern Conference duel. You don't want to miss it.
Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. Gordon the off guard with Aminu at the 3. Jason Smith is out there with Warwick, and it's Vasquez in at the 1 spot. So that's the group out there for New Orleans.
Something has to change, guys. That's 10 straight points coming in the paint against this team.
Well, they got to collapse in there, and everybody's got to be conscious of it. It's a team effort in protecting the paint. Control the ball, and then everybody's got to get in there and keep the defense locked down.
He kicks to Warwick. Dishes it to Smith. Over Noah. And the Hornets miss again.
Well, they've built a big lead here so far, and a lot of it has to do with how well they've been rebounding.
Yeah, every time they make a stop, they're securing the rebound, and that's really allowed them to get out to this lead.
It's stolen by Dang. Rose with the ball. He's coming off a 10-point game against Boston. That's good. Rose has got 6 points.
Yeah, we're now starting to see them get some high percentage shots in the paint.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 buckets inside the lane, so they're getting really high percentage looks down there. One of the things about Derrick Rose that you love is that he's a gym rat. He's a basketball fanatic. But it's interesting, he's not really into playing a lot of pickup ball in the summertime. In fact, he's even said he doesn't really enjoy the NBA All-Star game that much. He likes the real thing. He wants to play to win.
And again, no good by New Orleans. And here are the Bulls now. They've got an 8-0 run. No good from Jordan.
This just has not been his day so far.
Here is Vasquez, guarded by Jordan. The slam dunk by Aminu.
Now that's how you execute an alley-oop there, fellas.
And with an exclamation point, too, on the finish, throwing it down hard.
What a terrific play on both ends.
Going back to Rose in the All-Star game, he even got asked about his not dancing during the East All-Star intros. I mean, he said it just wasn't him. I like that.
I love that. You've got to stay with what you do and who you are. Do you. That's what we like to say. He's all business. He's playing in the shadow of number 23, the legendary Michael Jordan, and it's hard to imagine him shaking a leg before a game. So I think Rose is on the right track there.
Vasquez. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. This is his first free throw of the game.
And he's putting together a solid year at the free throw line.
Here's Rivers. The second chance effort. They get it back. Pass to Anderson. Mason. He passes to Lopez. Kicks to Henry. Feeds it to Rivers. Tipped away. Stolen by Robinson. That one goes. Count it. And the Bulls lead by 21. Here's Rivers. No good. And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. It's the Bulls running away with it. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Thanks for joining us for halftime. So far in the Big Easy, it hasn't been easy. A very uneven game going on. The Bulls scorching hot in the first half. They're racking up the assists, great passing in the early going. And giving it their all, the New Orleans Hornets. They've capitalized on their trips to the charity stripe, and that's been crucial. Their top scorer is Eric Gordon. He's picked up half a dozen points and has also grabbed a couple rebounds. And now we'll send you back to New Orleans Arena for the start of the second half.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started.
Excellent game we've seen from Luol Deng. 10 points and 2 blocks. If I was giving him a grade, it would be an A+. I mean, his excellent work on offense and defense has earned him the highest grade he could get.
Yeah, it's been a 94-foot performance from him, no question, Clark.
So the Bulls 5 right now. Luol Deng, Carlos Boozer, and Joakim Noah the front line. Derrick Rose is out there with Michael Jordan. Passes it to Aminu. Gordon. Left side, Gordon. Here is Vasquez. He's covered by Rose. 4 seconds left. Rebound by Carlos Boozer. Boozer's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
You know, guys, you take a look at Carlos Boozer. In contrast to the rest of this Chicago front line, he's not really known for his defense. Not a big-time shot blocker, doesn't really elevate, but his rebounding is probably... Oh, what a throw down there, man! I can't imagine that we'll see one better than that tonight.
I'm with you on that, aren't you, Steve?
Oh, yeah, I'd be shocked if we saw something more entertaining than that one.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Sprite. And here's Jordan outside. And again, no good by Chicago.
And they missed the first 3 shots of the third quarter.
And he's able to get it back. Aminu dishes to Gordon. He feeds it to Anderson. There's the pass to Lopez. Over Noah. Count it from 12. Lopez has got his first points in this one. Here is Rose. He's got 6. Jordan kicks to Boozer. Plenty of space. That drops and it comes off an assist from Jordan. 6 points for Carlos Boozer.
And you look at Bulls head coach Tom Thibodeau, considered by a lot of people to be the architect of the defensive philosophies that have been embraced by most of the league. And that is loading the strong side of the floor in the half court, kind of zoning up, basically, and then sending the ball handler baseline into help down on the block.
Jordan against Gordon, trying to break that ice-cold streak. Robinson passes to Noah. The dish to Dang. Just 5 to shoot. And the basket good. Dang's got 12. Well, Steve, going back to Coach Tom Thibodeau, our listeners might say, well, he's only been a head coach for a couple years. How could you be so influential? But prior to that, he was an assistant coach in the NBA for 2 decades. And he really built a nice reputation.
And whether it's in Houston or Boston, he's always played that key role in creating those stingy defensive schemes that he's known for. Obviously, he's taken those to Chicago now. The Bulls have been one of the best defensive clubs in the league the last couple of years. So Tom Thibodeau, no question, an excellent defensive coach.
Anderson against Noah. Poked loose. Down low, here's Lopez, and he bangs it home with one hand.
The defense caught dozing off that time.
Those open dunks, pretty high percentage.
Yeah, you're not going to miss many of those. I mean, this is really a poor defensive effort.
Jordan kicks it to Noah. Back to Jordan. Now the feed to Radmanovich. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Jordan. Jordan's got 5 assists tonight.
Well, he's an assassin from three-point range, guys. That's the first thing people talk about when his name comes up.
Yeah, he really has a feathery touch from out there, really soft and sweet. His consistency in shooting the ball is just amazing. Release point, trajectory, everything right where it needs to be.
Anderson dishes to Vasquez. The kick out to Anderson. That drops. Anderson's got his 3rd basket of the night.
They're on track here in the second half after their less than impressive first half. I mean, I think they came out with some tired legs to start, but they've turned it around. They found some energy, and they look a lot more active and engaged.
And there's Eric Gordon on the assist by Vasquez. 10 points for Eric Gordon.
He's been producing all night. It's up to the rest of his team to start kicking in a little bit.
They get it back. Robinson. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. First trip to the line for him here.
Well, he rarely misses from the line. He's at 87% on the year.
And so it's New Orleans with it. A 12-point game. And against Chicago here for the 2nd time this season.
And in that first matchup, they got absolutely manhandled on the boards, guys. So they're going to have to do a much better job tonight in the paint if they're going to win this game.
All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. 4th quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. So for New Orleans right now, they've got Al-Farouq Aminu. Xavier Henry is out there with Vasquez. Then there's Ryan Anderson, and it's Mason in at the 3. Back to what Steve just said, in terms of rebounding, they did not have a good time of it when they squared off previously.
And once things started to go bad for them, guys, and they did go bad, I mean, they were that much less aggressive on the glass, and that's a no-win formula.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hornets. Robin Lopez is checked in for Anderson, and it's Gordon in for Roger Mason.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Rose goes in, connects on the 9-footer.
Now they've got to offer more resistance inside. Just too many easy buckets in the paint.
Yeah, Steven, that's the top priority for any defense. You got to protect the paint.
Lopez kicks to Gordon. Shot denied.
Another board for them, and they've got a huge advantage in that regard.
Yeah, it's not really a surprise. I mean, rebounding one of the true barometers in winning basketball games, and if you rebound better, you typically are going to win ball games and do it comfortably.
Here's Rose. It's Chicago with another win.
And it's his poise at the offensive end that impresses me most. This guy is unflappable.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
To halt the run. Rebound by the Bulls. Their biggest lead of the game was 21. Here's Jordan, gets the bucket.
And it has been total domination on their part.
Yeah, they haven't put the parking brake on at all. They're continuing to go full throttle and pile up the points.
May Robinson is checked in for Chicago. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. Vasquez passes to Gordon. No good on the triple.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
Yeah, he had a really good look. I mean, he'll knock that down more often than not. Man, offensive execution has been the story here, just playing beautiful basketball.
And guys, you can see it in their advantage in field goal percentage. I mean, you get high quality shots, you're usually going to shoot well. They're playing outstanding basketball.
Lopez, no luck.
And you can feel the momentum swinging. They needed that shot badly.
Steve, I sense some frustration here. It seems like they're getting a little frustrated. It's understandable because they've given up this big run. Well, he got one to go in the first, but he hasn't been able to connect from three-point land here in this half.
And it's blocked by Gordon. Here's Henry, who's covered by Rose. Stolen by Boozer. And here we go, the Bulls fast break. Rose has got the ball. And the Bulls with another miss. And the foul on Derrick Rose. That's his first foul. Looking at the last game for the New Orleans Hornets, it was a win against the Trailblazers.
You know, it's hard to lose a game when you shoot the ball as well as they did in that one.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I mean, shot making can cover over a multitude of sins. The percentage they shot from the floor is one you might talk about an individual player having, not the entire team.
He dishes it to Jordan for the three. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got assist number 7 for him tonight. Gordon with a screen on Rose. Vasquez dishes to Aminu. Stolen by Boozer.
And that should do it. This is an insurmountable lead.
Yep, there's too little time left, too big a deficit to overcome. This one's over.
Vasquez kicks to Gordon. Again, the miss by Gordon.
Kevin, not a single point in this quarter for him. Obviously, not what they need right now. He's got the score.
The Hornets shooting 33% for the night. That's a big thorn in their side right now.
Well, no question. Playing in front of these big crowds brings a lot of pressure as well as excitement. A recent study found that for home players in clutch situations, they tended to excel in effort tasks like offensive rebounding, but struggled in the focus tasks like shooting free throws. Very interesting.
Yeah, they're not going to miss too many of those. That's high percentage stuff there.
Jordan the pass to Robinson. And it's Rivers with the rebound. Clark, going back to that study, I guess players on the away team didn't have that same struggle shooting free throws in the clutch. Did you notice that too, Steve?
Yeah, I think it's easier to shoot free throws on the road because the crowd is against you. Whereas at home, you know, if you miss, you hear the crowd gasp and they're so disappointed, and you feel that disappointment. So as a result, you feel more pressure. It's kind of an ironic twist, but I think it's definitely the case.
Now Mason. Back to Smith. Takes it up. And stolen by Jordan. And here we go. The Bulls fast break. And good on the basket. Book it.
And they're closing this game out in style. I mean, I like what they're doing here, competing till the very end.
That's certainly what it looks like. I mean, there's no let-up in them so far.
And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
Well, that'll do it. For Doris Burke, Steve Kerr, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long. We'll see you next time. And as we leave, we give you our Jordan Player of the Game, Michael Jordan.